Hello everyone, this is the preview show for Caulfield 30 June 2017. Almost financial new year. Good to see.
Is it exciting, is it?
Tax time, mate. A little bit of extra bucks goes in the kitty.
That's if you pay tax.
Well, good point, most gamblers don't. Straight on to it, track report was there today. Ran into Potts interestingly. He was doing his job, we're both out in the rain. Some people have to do it, mate.
Both in the rain.
Yeah, both in the rain. Got there, it just started to piss down, but
Very keen.
yeah, like to have a nice look. Rail out 7. Didn't really find too many biases in the track. I think on speed you'll always be suited there.
I think you have to go back and check it again, though.
Yeah, I'll be going back tomorrow, as I always do on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, because it's important to note whenever you watch this is Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
It's a day earlier than we normally do this show.
Had about 3 or 4 millimeters rain tonight as well since I walked it. Not
just,
gonna,
also,
not gonna
just
do
in
too much.
regard to like form, and I'm nowhere near as prepared as I normally am.
Yeah, I've done all my form. Mine will be posted tonight, but
I've done not much.
there is a few more things that I always like to just kick off and cross tomorrow.
Be more of a discussion. Tonight.
Exactly, definitely.
Right, race 1.
1200 meters, Streps handicap.
2-year-olds.
Lone Eagle being smashed 420 into 290, not a surprise. Absolute fucking moral beaten last start. Just couldn't find a way out. Well, you were on it, I was on it. Just no luck. Gets the right race here.
No, I didn't bet like that weekend off.
Ah, fair point. You would have been on it though.
Yeah, it was a horse. It's like one of the first horses I had to follow on the show.
Yeah. Main competition, Nistian, Royal Phoenix, Prevailing Winds, and Evil Cry. Evil Cry and River Jewel were both scratched from last weekend, interestingly, because they knew that thing in the first was a bloody good thing, and it was. I've just looked at this and I've said, look, Lone Eagle's a horse to beat. I think the horse that can probably beat it's Royal Phoenix. It maps quite well on speed.
Yeah.
Look, Lone Eagle's going to have to go back and come around them. Will that be suited? Not sure, but I think there's enough speed in this race to bring it into it, so it should get its chance. If it's good enough, it wins. That's simple as that.
Yeah, on paper, I think it's the best horse in this race. I've already backed it. I took some 4s, but I ended up at average prices of 360, like I said to you before, through various bookies. Hopefully it continues how it's going and we're in a position where we can trade out if it looks like busted in the yard.
And I think I
think it'll start about $2.50.
Yeah. There are some from this race which I reckon we can look for in the yard as well. Olympic Lad's just one that I just want to keep an eye on, especially from the yard, to see how it looks. I know the stable have a fair opinion of it, so it's just one to look out for.
Okay, race 2.
This is probably the hardest race of the day by a mile. Speaking of more than a mile, it's 2,000 metres.
Shit is right.
Yeah, I looked at this and there are actually 6 to 12 horses, about 12 horses, of the 15 where you go, not sure that can win, not sure that can win, that has to improve significantly, can't win. Like, I Heart Pop is a prime example. They're backed at the last 2 starts, but on its form, it's $14, $16, yeah, they haven't exactly come for it. But no.
1,600 to 2,000 is not good.
They put up 26s, it's into 19s, yeah.
I'll be looking for horses not drawn too close to the inside that have already had a run at 2,000 metres, but not very interested in this race at the moment.
Yeah, I'll just quickly highlight 1 or 2. Obviously, I think here's why I think it's a really good from the yard race for us. The main chances, Kia Weir, or how do you say its name, the Weir horse, $2.70 favourite, goes back. Royal Order for 22nd favourite, goes back. All Out of Love, who I think is a good chance at $21, goes back. Guangzhou goes back. Then you've got Savvy Dresser, who I think's drawn inside, but probably going to sit midfield. And that's the top 6 in the race. So you've got probably 8 decent horses who could improve. That I reckon if we find something from the yard that maps forward, I'll be tempted to have a play here.
Yeah.
Because you're getting 4 to 6 lengths on them at the 400 metre mark, and you could potentially steal it if they don't go overly fast.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot here. I'm just going to pen. I can see already.
Oh, there are a lot of pen jobs, but yard will be key.
All right, race 3, mile benchmark 78.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen to bet here. I think Coldstone gets the right race finally. I was on it at, 101 first up, or second up, sorry.
First up.
Yeah. It ran a bloody good race. It's then been backed in races I don't think it's had its chances. I think last start it was false favourite. We said that. But steps back in grade here. I don't rate Curra as a horse at all. Clairvaux, I'll take it on here.
I've had a quick look at this race.
I know the way you're probably going to go is Cosmic Lights. Am I right?
Yeah, well, each way.
Yeah.
Each way.
Williams on board.
There's an intruder. Each way, I think it's I looked before, $6.
Yeah.
I think you can take it each way. Sit down. Sit down. Sit.
Yeah, into 550 now actually. So they've come for it a little bit. I'm the same opinion with Coldstone, so I'm looking to have a small. I'm not overly keen. I've just gone a unit 25
what
each
about
way.
Coldstone's going 2,000 metres back to a mile?
No, I actually think it's a miler. I honestly think it's
Yeah,
had that hard run at 2,000 though. That's perfect. It's actually just centered over the top. I reckon it's absolutely peaking right now. It's over the top from that last run, going back to 1,600. It's gonna be on speed. Now there's a bit of speed in this race, so it can either lead or sit 1-1 or one back the fence. It depends.
I thought it looked maybe cooked from the yard last time. Is that right? From memory?
I think we came in with a attitude of it that it was okay, but it wasn't great, just from the notes we took. But
yeah,
we didn't have it anywhere near top, and it ran accordingly. I don't know. I just think it's perfectly placed here. If I was to look at any other runners in the race, I'd probably be with Cosmic Lights. I'm just a bit wary on what it did last start. I know you like the run, but where it gets to,
I think it was given none at Sale. I backed it and the winner. I remember that race.
I think the winner's a good type out of that.
Slaughtered at Mooney Valley when it should have won. We backed it then. It's a positive jockey change. Third time at a mile this prep. Likely peaks. Horse always parades pretty well, so
won't get much from the yard knowing about that. Yeah.
Like if it's not right, if it's not perfect, I won't be backing it.
Yeah, that's true.
But at the moment, each way Cosmic Lights. Yield Dash for Cash seemed a fat price. I looked at that. It's like 40s, wasn't it?
In the 20s, I think now. They've come for it already.
There you go. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Race 4, 1,100 metres.
This is the bloody hard one.
3-year-old fillies. I got one here I kind of like. If Miss Iano.
$26.
Yeah, I wanted it back at last week when they scratched.
Yeah.
It beat that horse Areno that they belted at Mooney Valley. It's $20.
Ariano, or whatever its name is, I think came out and didn't do too much midweek at Sandown though, so just I'd be...
I respect the market.
Yeah.
It had excuses at Mooney Valley that day. Interested in it. I reckon they'll back Invictum Domina, which is stepping up from midweeks, which I don't really like.
Pretty sure Hayes gave out their best of the week, and it's actually $9, interestingly.
Well, it's entertaining at that price. And
Yeah.
if now not when that was $10, that's still a good horse. Its last run at Caulfield was enormous. And that's all I've got so far. I'm not betting in the race.
Well, I've looked 2 other ones than you here, so it's pretty good.
You'll have Miss Vespa and Unique Ovely.
No, neither of those actually. So Clipper, I think that form up there's the highway runs. You look at it and go, oh, they're just highways, but the horse has just been doing what it's been doing. It's just been winning. I think it's got the jets, good barrier. 460 is probably too short for me to entertain at this stage, to be quite honest. But I've got it on top. So, and Run Gypsy Run, you're getting $11. Ignore last start. Just ignore that it went around 5 wide the trip and failed. Right? What price should it be?
Clipper?
No, Run Gypsy won, who won here, beating some class runners. Look at the form.
I'm still trying to get over Clipper.
Yeah. We'll go back to Clipper.
It's a Sydney Highway horse.
Yeah.
Gutsy, what price are you getting?
460.
I think that's poison.
It's looked really good though in its wins. So
yeah, but it's against donkeys.
The sectionals on it work out, so I've gone pretty deep.
Choice is Marius, Snitty Kitty, Overstep. Like that's 3 quality types.
I've gone pretty deep into the sectional data, so I think it measures up here. And the barrier, if it was an outside barrier.
One thing I will say is they always scoot along, go real hard early in the highways up in Sydney. So
and that's what you're going to get here as well. So I think it's suited by the tempo.
I like Sneakers as a horse. I like Miss Vespa.
Sneakers had its chance last start and couldn't win though. That was a bit of an issue for me on this one. Misty Girl's just one we haven't mentioned that they're backed. It's a maiden winner. It won by like 6 lengths or something. I personally don't think it's good enough, but yeah. So look, I think there's 5-6 chances over. Even Princess of Queens is a progressive type that's first up. Probably needs 1400, but it can still run really well. D. Oliver's kept the ride for a reason.
Alright, race 5, 1200 metres, mares, benchmark 90.
So, shall we start you off with Whistle Baby?
I'm going to have a good... I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a very good bet at Whistle Baby and have a solid bet at Nimini Pimini. And just, that's it for this race. I think it's pretty simple.
I'm totally different for you on this race. My 2 bets here, I think Sullivan Bay at $17 is an absolute massive price. Like, there's no speed in this race outside of Sullivan Bay. It sits on speed. It gets its way. Hayes in his preview said they had to go too hard last start too early, and that's kind of what just took the horse away. It had nothing late, and on this mapping, it doesn't have to do that today. So I think it just gets the right economical run to finish off, and its final sectionals, when it's been allowed to do that in the past, have been good enough to beat this type of grade. And the other one I like with Craig Williams on board is A Lot of Love. Now, it doesn't win often, but once again, I think this is the type of horse that has the closing speed and positions very well from barrier 2.
What price again, Sullivan Bay?
$17.
Yeah, I endorse that.
Yeah. It's the right price. If you're looking for value...
Well, that Roletto form, that was the best race that day, I remember, by a mile.
Correct.
It's run 4th there. 3.6 lengths is a bit, but that's a good race.
It went too fast early again in that race as well.
But Nimini Pimini's run 2nd to the best horse in Melbourne at the moment. No, 5th to the best horse in Melbourne. Then it should have won last start. Horse is flying.
Definitely flying, but I reckon it's still giving Sullivan Bay 6 lengths on the turn, and it's probably even giving A Lot of Love 2 to 3, and A Lot of Love sectionals are good enough. I think A Lot of Love can measure up in group grade, so it's an interesting race.
Yeah, well, A Lot of Love has the right form.
Yeah.
Like, comes from nice races. Race 6, 1400 metres.
This is my most confident
3-year-olds.
race of the day, and confident in 2 horses.
What price are we getting for Valiano?
Valiano, $12.
Interested in it each way. I expect Revolving Doors too short.
$5.50.
What price is Nikita's?
$4.60, which I think that's massively short, especially with Child's staying on.
Well, he's going on.
I think Nikita's has had its chance and just been beaten by better horses the last 2 starts. And
this bloke could keep it up though.
yeah. So I have Revolving Door as my top pick in the race. I thought it did everything right last start. I think it can improve from what it did there as well, and up to 1400 it's even better suited. I think Caulfield, barrier 10, Dwayne Dunn's my only negative, but I've included that into my price and I'm happy to bet the $5.50. Valiano, luckless 2 back when it knuckled and then still ran a really good race at Sandown, and then threw the jockey off last start so we didn't get to see anything.
Yep.
Hayes Camp, pretty confident that it's going quite well. Jake Bayless claiming 2.5 kilos, just gets in perfectly at the weights. The ones I think are probably dangerous, Cannot Be Serious, has to be considered. Enigma I think is too short in the race at $4.60.
What price is back to the bowler?
Getting 18s. If I was to look one around those odds, I reckon Turinda at 26s. That horse had no hope from the yard last start. That was off its head, just never going to run a race. And they've kind of drifted it out to that price simply on the last start performance, which was a performance where it was never going to win. Yep. Personally, do I think can it beat Revolving Door and Valiano here? I don't. I think it's probably a better place chance than win chance, but it's over the odds as well.
I think Valiano gets his chance. Respect Enigman, Nikita's, Revolving Door. But yeah, Valiano each way.
Race 7, 1400 metres, handicap. I'll let you start this one. This one's a bit of a
I think Data Point will win, but I don't want to take that price.
260.
And I'm
poison, absolute poison.
Well,
barrier 15.
It doesn't matter.
Bo Merdens from barriers that wide.
He's the best jockey in Melbourne at the moment.
I'd rather Williams at the moment from a wide draw than him. It goes back, so it's going to have to. There's 16 runners. It's going to be going back. It's going to have to come around them, and it's going to have to be absolutely brilliant. And the last few starts, it's had that chance where it's just had to do too much in the run, I think. So I've got two here that I like. So the first one's Here to There. I just think at the 13s we're getting the right price. Look, it's kind of failed to fire both starts this prep, right? Yeah. But I think they'll both forgive runs. And three runs back in Adelaide, it went in harder grade over this distance.
Yeah. What price is it?
Getting $13. This is home track.
What's your other one?
Power Charged with Martin on board. So this is a Tassie horse that's been behind Admiral, Hell of a Street.
Well, these Tassie horses are...
And what's the one at Moonee Valley? You've got it down there. I don't ever want to
say its name again.
Yeah, Von Costa or whatever it was. Yeah. This thing's been running behind those. So it hasn't been matching them. It's a step behind. But it's first up here, but it's had 4 trials. So it's actually had 4 trials leading in. Therefore, in my opinion, it's fit enough. 3 kilo claim, barrier 5, it's on speed. And you've got the ones that are going to be trying to run it down, being Data Point from back. Kingsguard probably is on speed with it, who I don't really rate in this race. I think we can probably, playing those two, we've got a good chance.
What price is Floral Fever?
10s. It's another decent chance in the race.
Interested in it each way, but think Data Point will win. Race 8, 1200 metres, benchmark 84. 80k race.
Big money. I've got a really low bet here on something at big odds.
Well, you go first, because I got a moral.
Ooh, okay. So mine's a horse called In Fairness. It's $41. It ran a good second to Curra first up, and then 1 mile and a heavy 8. Went up to 1600 metres and was just not really well suited by the tempo. Then back to 1400 at Echuca. Look, that was probably a forgive run. It didn't really run well. On its best, its Ballarat runs. I can just see it featuring here. It's a race that doesn't really have many on-speed runners. Divine Misrati is going to be coming from the back. Portman from the back. Leodoro from the back. Zara Bay is probably midfield. I just see it having the right run of the race, economical run out front, and it gets its shot. $41, I'm happy to go each way. Luke Nolan knows the track very well. He's riding pretty well at the moment, I think.
Alright, Zara Bay each way, extremely keen to back it each way.
Done a negative at this.
Wait, mate, it was enormous first up. Not suited at 1,000.
Yeah, agree.
Gets to 1,200. Goes well. I think the jockey switch is a positive because Oliver hasn't got onto another horse. He would have ridden this horse much more like at home. Yeah, I think we're getting $6.50 or 7s. It's a great edgeway bet for me.
Yeah, 7s.
Yeah. I expect it'll start a lot shorter.
They do generally come for those type of horses, and I think Leodoro's too short at 460 on having shown us little last start because they didn't get the run.
Yeah, but I bet you it's ridden a lot more positive.
Barrier 11 probably. Maybe get caught 3 wide's the issue.
Alright, race 9, 800 metres.
Yeah, pretty decent race this one. You've got some nice horses. Yard actually had some really good thoughts on Jacquino Bay actually bouncing back. I'm a fan of the horse. I can't entertain him.
Did we back it at Sandown?
We backed it everywhere. It's just run absolutely dog shit. That's the honest opinion. It's 9 years old. It's getting on. If it wins, I'm happy to be betting around it. There are better horses in this race that are going on with their careers, and
well, yeah. One of them's on Piccolo, yeah.
Correct. So
ticks a few boxes before.
On Piccolo ticks almost every box I want in this race. I think informed jockey who's going to be on speed.
Positive jockey switch.
Bo Merdens, as you know, in the preview show earlier in the week, I bag him, but I also have a lot of confidence in him on the right rides. And for mine, I know. It's the right ride.
He's a good jockey.
He is a good jockey, but this is the right ride for him. There's going to be on Bacalo and Long John that'll be on doing the pace. Jack and Obey and Radipole most likely sit off them.
Yeah, Radipole's one that I'm interested in. It can really improve from the parade.
Brian Higgins on board though is a bit of a.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
Look, it'll be a massive price, won't it?
16s.
Yeah.
Probably drift.
It'll drift.
Overberg?
Magic Console's still going well. Overberg's seen a fat price.
Yeah, $5.50 for Magic Console's a bit short.
Vassal is like a real tease. Sabrins is a bit of a tease. I think Ompakalo's a big price, isn't it?
You're getting $11.
Yeah,
$12, $13 last night.
I'll probably be backing it each way.
I've got it as a 2-unit bet each way. I think in this race, it's just really well suited. There's not really much else at odds. I mean,
Overberg can bounce right back though.
If Freshwater Storm gets out to 80s on the day, I'll have a nice go because the speed's going to be on. 51 kilos. If they just run it absolutely stupid, that's the type of horse that loves that type of run.
Best bet.
And I would just watch for money from the We Yard for Law show, the top waiter in that race. It's $51. It was absolutely crap last start, but we know what Weir's been doing lately.
Who's steering?
Brady. Bad Brad.
Alright, best bet.
It's my 2-horse play on Revolving Door and Valiano, and obviously on Bacalo is my next best. I'm really keen on Bacalo.
Okay, really keen. Zara Bay each way. Is that race 6? Right?
I think it's race 8.
Race 8.
Yeah.
Number 10. Best bet each way. I've taken $3.60 about race 1 Lone Eagle. I'd suggest $3 or better is still a nice bet. And what's the other one? Earlier today. Whistle Baby. Happy to give her another go.
Weren't they retiring after
Whistle
last start?
Baby and a little bit on Nimini Pimini that race. They're the 3 sort of races I'm keenest on at this stage.
What's your thoughts on that? Weren't they retiring Whistle Baby after that last start, and then have they just said, look, it didn't get the right race because they just crawled last start?
It didn't get out last start.
Oh, they crawled though. They crawled. It wasn't suited, in my opinion.
But she didn't even get out.
Yeah.
She's probably flying at home.
So you think they're just sending it around for another run because they want to go out on a win?
Yeah, it could be lots of things. It could be like set to go to done deal or something, and he's busy.
Yeah, could be something like that.
The horse is flying. It's in the market. I bet you it's backed.
And for tomorrow night, Melbourne going to beat Sydney.
I like the jockey change. I like the kids getting a good opportunity and a good horse for a good stable.
Fair enough.
Yeah, now let's get into the good stuff.
Yeah, Melbourne to beat Sydney.
Who's the 2 outs for Melbourne?
You got Garlett.
And
Big
Salem. They're 2 massive outs for Melbourne.
And Watts isn't back in, I'm pretty sure.
No,
so.
Peggy's had enough.
Got our own little greyhound that we're betting on here while we're.
Get down. What price? What price have you got Melbourne and Sydney? And what's your bet?
I backed Sydney already. I backed them at $2 earlier in the week.
I'm going to have a good bet Sydney 1-39 and a little bet on Everton 15. Peggy's had enough.
Looks like we've been told we've got to go.
Good luck, guys, if you're having a bet.
Good luck. Talk to you on Twitter.